Hey guys, so it's Tuesday, February 15th at 3 p.m. And I'm back here giving y'all another live. I was not here last week. Uh, I was in a jury trial on aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the jury returned a verdict of not guilty for my client. Obviously, he was happy. Um, this week, I thought that I would talk a little bit about bail bond bail bonds and the process here in Galveston, and then I'll kind of tie that into bail reform and how it's affected us. So, generally speaking, if you are arrested or charged with an offense, a bail is set. And you can either post a cash bail, which means you pay the money of the bail directly to the county, or you can use a bail bonds. So a good example, a bail bondsman. A good example is, let's say it's a simple misdemeanor and your bond is set at $500. If you have the money, you can simply pay the $500 to the sheriff's department, uh, and they will accept your money as the bond and let you out on what is called a cash bond. So what happens to your money once the case is resolved, and that means ultimately resolved, your money is refunded to you minus a small administrative fee. Uh, and when I say once your case is resolved, the money is refunded to you, that means whether you're found guilty, not guilty, take probation, whatever happens, once the case is over, your money is returned to you. Now, a lot of people don't have that option if their bond is, let's say, on a felony, $50,000. A lot of people don't have $50,000 to just pay the county in order to be released and then, get their $50,000 back at some point. So that's where a bail bonds company comes into play, and they will charge you typically 10% of the bond amount to get out. So on a $50,000 bond, the bonding company would charge you $5,000 for you to be released on bail. You get absolutely none of that $5,000 back because it's the fee that you're paying for the bonding company taking liability on the entire $50,000 to the county should you choose to run. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen that people flee, and then the bonding company can be on the hook to the county for that $50,000 if they don't find you and produce you within a certain amount of time. Now, uh, if you've heard, it's been on the news and it's pretty much nationwide. There has been bail reform and bond reform across the country, usually initiated by the ACLU, which aims at not necessarily lowering bond, but trying to make it where cash money bond is not the whole reason that someone is sitting in jail, right? And so here in Galveston, and I'm not going to talk about other counties, uh, what was initiated after the bail reform initiative started, and there was a lawsuit here in Galveston as well. The Galveston County initiated what is now called bail review. So let's say you get arrested today and your bond is set at pick a number, $50,000. And you can't make that bond either by yourself or through a bonding company. You will go to bail review, which you'll have two opportunities to do that. It happens twice a day, uh, basically around 6 a.m. and then again around 6 p.m. At bail review is a defense attorney. It is not your defense attorney for your case, but it is a defense attorney to review your bond amount and present any arguments that you may have for a reduction in bond to the magistrate conducting bail review. There's also obviously a prosecutor to argue against it if that's appropriate. Many times I'm told that the defense attorney and the prosecutor that are there reach an agreement on a bond reduction for people when it's appropriate. So in Galveston County, if you're in jail and this happens, that a bond is set that you cannot afford, you will have one, maybe two opportunities at getting that bond lowered by a magistrate, and then of course you can bond out. So that prior to bail reform, there was no such system in Galveston County, and you would sit in jail until you could either afford an attorney to have a bail reduction hearing for you, or the court would appoint you an attorney, and then that attorney could do the same and seek a bond reduction for you in the trial court, meaning the court where your case is pending. The problem with that system was you could be looking at weeks before that could happen, and so someone would sit in jail for all that time simply waiting to get a bond reduction before their case even actually gets started. And the problem with that is that most people cannot afford weeks in jail waiting to get out. Most people's jobs will not wait for them for weeks at a time. Nobody that I know's bill collectors will wait because you get behind on your money. So forcing people to sit in jail simply because they can't afford bond in some situations has long and far-reaching problems. That was sort of it was one of the premises for bail reduction. The other was it was increasingly being applied to poorer people that did not have the financial means, and they were unjustly being held incarcerated just because of bail for long periods of time. Okay, so as a result of this and people getting reductions, obviously bonding companies were affected financially, right? Because private bonding companies, the way they make their money is by charging people the 10% on their bond amount. So basically what started happening was bonding companies started competing with each other for more business, and so certain bonding companies started cutting their fees to much less than 10%, and then would give you a payment plan on the rest. So what this has caused, and I've seen it actually on the news, and I've read multiple articles about it, is that since bonding companies have been willing to reduce the amount that they would take down for a bail amount, people with higher bails and more serious crimes are now making bail when prior to this they could not. There have been stories, I don't know any personally, but there have been stories of bonding companies taking as low as 2% for a person to get out. So whereas if a person is charged with a serious crime, and let's say they have a $100,000 bond, which was meant to hold them in custody, before it would have cost them $10,000 to get out, and families would have trouble raising that money. So if you have a bonding company now willing to take 2% on $100,000, that's only $2,000. So some people argue that bail reform has led to more serious offenders being released because of practices like that. And then of course that's when you see on the news that this guy committed a crime, but he was already charged with some other serious crime that he was on bond for. And it's interesting because obviously prior to bail reform, those that were proponents of bail reform did not see that the private market, meaning bonding companies, would adjust. And it makes sense, right? No one wants to just go out of business because the system changed. They're just going to change their practices so they can continue to pay their employees and make money and continue to do business. But now that it's been quite a while, you're starting to see how the reform has affected. I know that in Harris County, there's been a push to force bonding companies to accept 10% and 10% only and not less for a bond. We've not seen anything like that in Galveston. And obviously in Galveston, we don't have the same type of issues that they do in Harris County. Although we do have people here in Galveston County that have taken advantage of it, and there are a couple of bonding companies out of Harris County that will do Galveston County bonds and do them for substantially reduced down payments, and then make the client continue to make monthly payments on their full bond on the 10% amount. So we do see that here. And like I said, I saw it on the news. I've read several articles on it, and it just kind of piqued my interest. So I thought I would kind of give you an idea of how it's going here and how it affects us here in the county. Like I said, it's not as widespread as Harris County, but it has happened here in Galveston County. I have some clients out on some huge bonds that I was shocked they were able to make, but obviously their bonding company worked with them. And so, sorry I missed y'all last week. Like I said, I was in trial. I don't know yet if I'll be in trial next week. If not, I'll make another video. Hey, Paula, Margaret, and Barbara, I will see y'all hopefully next Tuesday. Y'all have a good rest of your week, and I hope y'all all had a happy Valentine's Day.